So does it mean both the equality and equity are the same concept? Because we often use them in an interchangeable manner. Means if we only focus on equality, will we be able to achieve justice in totality or in an absolute manner the way we want to have in our surrounding? That's why equity allows some level of discrimination in the name of customization. Hello everyone, my name is Himanshu Kishore and today I'm here to make you understand the concept of equity. The word equity has been all over the social media in past few months because of certain landmark judgment of Supreme Court, particularly in the case of UGC Guideline, the reservation cases and case related to menstrual health as a fundamental right. Now, in all these cases, the word equity surfaced again and again. And we all have some familiarity with the word equity, but often we lack the exact conceptual clarity about the word equity. Often we use the term equity in an interchangeable manner with the word equality. Okay, so does it mean both the equality and equity are the same concept? Because we often use them in an interchangeable manner or not. What are the differences? If they are not the same word, if they have some different uses in different contexts, then what is that line which divide both the concept, the equity and equality? So first question is this. Another question which I actually saw over social media. So one gentleman was saying that the term equity is not mentioned anywhere in our constitution. Hence, any promotion of equity is unconstitutional. That was understanding of that gentleman. So that's a question in front of us. It is true, let me tell you here that the word equity is not mentioned anywhere in Indian constitution. But just because the word is not mentioned in an explicit manner, does it mean any promotion of equity is not allowed or is not permitted by our constitution? So in today's session, basically, we will try to answer these questions, but before that, let's understand the meaning of the word equity and equality. So first, we take the easier and more familiar word, which is equality. Now, it does not require someone to prepare for UPSC and study books of polity and political science to understand a very simple word, equality. All of us, even before we ever heard of polity, we knew what the word equality mean. In fact, we were expecting from our parents, from our teacher, and from basically anyone in our surrounding to not treat us in an unequal manner. Rather, we were expecting an equal treatment from our surrounding. So equality basically mean equal or same treatment. It further mean that there should not be any discrimination. Now, discrimination can be there on multiple bases, right? From the color of skin to gender, to religion, to language, to caste, to culture. So there can be multiple bases for the discrimination. But the idea of equality says that there should not be any discrimination towards anyone on the basis of one's background. At the same time, there is one more element of this understanding of equality, and that is absence of privileges. Privileges basically mean that any advantages which are available to one person on the basis of the birth and background of that individual. So if someone is born in a rich family, then that person, because that person is rich or that person come from a very politically connected family, they get some special treatment. And that special treatment is privilege. So the idea of equality says that the state, the authorities, the government must not look at the background, the privileged background of anyone. Hence, there should be absence of privileges in front of the government. Government should not consider one's privileged background to decide the treatment for that individual. So I hope that at this point, the understanding about equality is very much clear. Now, before I move on to word equity, I would like you to think little deeper about the word equality. I mean, you must have heard from almost everyone that they want equality in their surrounding. All of us say that we want equality in our surrounding, but just think about it. Why do we need equality? Is it because that our elders and leaders tell us that we should pursue equality? That is the reason for us to believe in and pursuing the idea of equality? Is it a kind of moral obligation upon us that, and is it the case that equality look nice or it sound nice, that's why we should go for equality? What is the reason why because of which basically we want equality in our surrounding? Because let me make it very clear to you. Nature does not act, or nature does not ensure equality in our surrounding. Nature does not act, nature basically does not deal either in hierarchy or in equality. Nature deals in diversity and variety. For example, when we look at the animal kingdom and we look at lion, then we say, wow, lion is a superior animal. Lion is a king of the jungle. That's how human beings look at the nature and its creation. While for nature, every creation is a beautiful creation, and for nature, basically, it's a complex web of creatures who are feeding off each other. Nature does not discriminate as such, but nature basically talk about diverse species. But we, the human beings, we talk in, like, this is our language, that there is a king, there is a servant, there is a master, there is a slave, and so this is our background. In the history of humanity, for 99.999%, we actually never believed in equality. Today, equality looks like, or it sounds like, every one of us actually, in a public manner, we say that yes, we believe in equality. But the sad reality of human history is that for 99.999% of human history, we, the human beings, never believed in history. In fact, hierarchy was the nature of the human history, not the equality. We were we were having this notion that there are some upper caste, then there are some lower caste. We were having this notion that like the son of the king can become next king, not the son of a farmer. So basically, you see, the privileges, the background, we discriminated within our society on all those bases which I told you, like caste, gender, religion, etc. It is a very, very recent phenomenon, hardly of 2 or 3 centuries. Means in the around 2 lakh, more than 2 lakh years of history, hardly for last 200 years, we are publicly saying, at least it doesn't, like individually or in private setup, we still, some of us may not believe in the idea of equality, but at least publicly, now we say that all of us are equal and there should not be any basis for an unnecessary discrimination. So this is how basically, this is the story of equality, which is very, very small and recent. So why suddenly we believe in equality and we prioritize equality so much? The answer to that is that we want equality in our society so that we can pursue another concept or another idea, which is justice. We want to pursue justice, and that's why we want equality. Now, what is justice? Justice basically means that a condition in society when the opportunities and resources are available to everyone in an equal and reasonable manner. Basically, over a course of period, we realized that if we do not allow someone to access some political, economic opportunities, then we, the human beings, are basically undermining our collective potential. Just imagine if Einstein was born in an underprivileged section of society, and if the Einstein did not get an opportunity to learn about physics, then would we be having any, the kind of clarity we are having about physics as of now? So the point is, all the great individuals who have done wonders for us, they at some point gotten access to an opportunity in certain aspect of human life, and there they basically utilized their potential and they contributed to the advancement of human species. And that's why, like, you can look at the concept of both the equality and justice as an utilitarian idea, which in a way advance our progress, which ensure our survival. This is why we want equality as well as justice. But here comes a question. Can we say the concept of equality, now we know that concept of equality is necessary to achieve the idea of justice. But is it sufficient enough? Means, if we only focus on equality, will we be able to achieve justice in totality or in an absolute manner the way we want to have in our surrounding? The answer to that, basically for that, let me show you certain infographics. So let me show you this picture. In this picture, like Ajay said, that nature does not make any of us equal. Rather, nature gives all of us a certain strength and certain weaknesses. Now there are three individuals, and all three of them basically want to avail or want to have an opportunity to witness something, to enjoy something. And state is providing equal treatment to all three of them. But I mean, just because state is treating equally to all three of them, does it mean it, like, is it helping all three of them in an equal manner? The answer is no. Hence, even though we are treating them equally, but we are not ensuring equal access to opportunity for all three of them. Hence, equality here is not pushing for justice. While in this particular case, we are not providing all three of them same treatment. Rather, we are customizing our treatment to all three of them according to their necessities. But the outcome is same for all three of them. For all three of them are able to enjoy the view, and all three of them are able to avail the opportunity available in an equal manner. And that is the concept of equity. Let me show you one more infographic. Here, basically, so there are three types of road. This is a road with wobble, and this is a plain path, and this is an inclined road. We are giving all three of them same cycle, equal treatment without looking at their circumstances. While in this particular case, we are giving them certain vehicle, but this vehicle is relevant according to, or in a way customized according to their circumstances. So equity basically means customization of support, customization of input according to one's background. And that's why equity allows some level of discrimination in the name of customization. One last thing, that equality is giving everyone a shoe, and equity is giving everyone a shoe that fits. Now for fitting, of course, you'll have to customize and you'll have to discriminate. All right. Hence, the purpose of equity and equality is same. That is to pursue justice. But the path is a bit different. Hence, the question that we were having in the beginning, that are both word or are those concepts same? The short answer is no. The concepts are not same, but equity is not very different from equality. Equity basically allow the equal treatment, but slightly customized according to one's background. Hence, equality basically means same treatment, but equity means fair treatment. Now, equity, you can define equity as treating people according to their needs to achieve fairness. What is fairness? Fairness basically means being reasonable. Fairness means you can discriminate, but you can discriminate only with some justification, with some reasons. So, impartial, reasonable treatment of people free from biases and discrimination or favoritism. All right. So, this is the difference between equity and equality. Hence, we can say that equity is equal to equality 2.0. Means equity is not very different from equality. Rather, equity is an upgraded, advanced, mature, evolved understanding of the same concept, which is equality. Hence, to our original question, we can say that equality is necessary to achieve justice, but it is not sufficient. We further need equity to ensure better justice. Now, let's deal with this constitutionality part of equality and equity. Okay? Like, what does Constitution say about the concept of equity? So, there in Constitution, we have one article, Article 14. And Article 14 of the Indian Constitution say that a state shall not discriminate or a state shall not deny equality before law and equal protection of law. These are the two concepts of polity which are mentioned in our Constitution. Now, what does it mean? So, equality before law, it says that it is a conventional, or in a way it is older concept than this one. This is a newer concept, this is a conventional concept. Both of them basically talk about certain kind of equality. But like for some factual information, that this is of British origin. We say that equality before law is a negative concept, while equal protection of law is an American origin concept, and it is positive in nature. What does it mean? So basically here it is said that it is a conventional understanding of the concept of equality. Hence it is say that law does not look at one's background. Now you recall, what did I tell you about equality? That is exactly same. That law, state, government will not be looking at one's background. Hence law is blind to your background. Hence law or state or government is supposed to treat everyone equal irrespective of their background. And that's why it is a negative concept. Means law will not be looking at, so not word like it is equality before law says that state will not discriminate. Hence it is a negative concept. दूसरा आता है equal protection of law. This equal protection of law is an advanced concept which is actually nothing but another way to say equity only. It says what? That law must be applied equally among equals. Equally among equals means if two people are not equal, then law will be applicable in a different manner. Hence, a state can discriminate. Discrimination basically here means that a state can customize its treatment according to one's background. So, state can customize. इसमें not नहीं है कहीं पे. State can customize. State can decide how to treat someone, because if there are multiple people, then people who are same, they will get one treatment. People who are different will get different treatment. Hence, in this concept, we say that state may discriminate. There is no not, hence it is a positive concept. And this is nothing but equity. And here we say that law is not blind, rather looking at everyone's background. अगर लॉ लोगों के बैकग्राउंड को नहीं देखेगा तो उसको पता कैसे चलेगा कि कौन इक्वल है और कौन अनइक्वल है. That's why law is not blind, and this is what we call equity. अभी just थोड़ी देर पहले हमने देखा that equity means customization, some level of discrimination, but this discrimination must be justified. This discrimination must be reasonable, and as long as it is reasonable, justified, it is allowed. Hence, we call equality ko we also refer in a way formal equality, and equity ko we also say substantive equality. Equality which is bringing some substantive changes in people's life. Now, what is substantive? For that, I showed you the infographic. Okay? Here. So, basically here it is a formal equality. Here it is a substantive equality. Formal equality में input के level पर equal treatment is there. Substantive equality में this equality actually making some difference in their life. Here there is no difference in their life. Whatever life used to be, the social order used to be earlier, that if you are a weaker person, you don't deserve certain opportunities. That was the conventional mindset, but that has changed. Even if you are a weaker person, it is a collective responsibility of society to ensure particularly the weaker section of society is able to avail certain opportunities in a equal manner. Let me let me connect this understanding with something recent, something which happened recently. In October 2024, our then CJI Chandrachud basically changed the statue of Lady Justice. Earlier, Lady Justice used to have this blindfold. Now, in the latest statue of Lady Justice, that blindfold has been removed. Hence, it is said that justice is no longer blind. What does it mean? That now emphasis is more on equity rather than equality. Now, just because equity is not mentioned in an explicit manner does not mean equity is not there in Constitution. In Constitution, Article 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, in all these articles, basically you can find a gist or crux of the concept of equity. Hence, all these articles basically allow some sort of differential treatment or some sort of discrimination or prohibitive practices, some sort of differential treatment to ensure that some bad practices does not exist or no longer persist in our society. All right. So this was the concept of equality and equity. Now understand that UPSC in 2017 basically asked this question. I am sure on the basis of our discussion, you can comfortably answer this question. But this question was only about equality. I am pretty confident that in coming prelims or maybe in coming years, UPSC will be asking more and more questions related to the concept of equity. And for that, I will say that please watch this video again, but have absolute confidence and comfort with respect to all these terms: equity, equality, equal protection of law, equality before law, and what is this meaning of the expression that law is blind or law is no longer blind. Okay, so have gained clarity about it, and this is one practice question. Answer of this question will be there in the description, and in case you have any confusion, you can reach out to me over my email ID. Otherwise, in comment section also, you can ask any further question or doubt you have with respect to equality, equity, and all these concepts that I have discussed in this video. Wish you all the very best. Thank you.